Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the gang. So today what I wanted to go over with you guys is my study techniques, what I do and how I prepare for exams and just studying in general. So basically what I wanted to go over first was just some of the materials that I use to study. So the first thing obviously that I use to study is my textbook. In the notes and lecture section of my notebook, I use gel pens. I love my gel pens, highlighters in all different colors, red correction pens, post-it flags, and index cards. So the first thing that you want to do when you're studying is obviously read the chapter. Read the entire chapter for that subject. Sometimes, depending on how much work you have to do, whether it's in that particular class or other materials that you need to cover for another class, and how lengthy the chapter is, sometimes I split my chapter in reading in 2 days. If not, then I just read the entire chapter first, and then once I'm done reading the entire chapter, I move on to the next step. The next studying technique is after I have read the chapter, I go back through the chapter and I highlight. Now, I don't highlight everything because obviously you're not going to take notes on everything in that chapter. You would never finish your notes if that was the case. So basically what I do is I highlight the really, really important information in one color, and the information that is obtaining to that information that I highlighted originally, I underline, because that information is still important, but it's not really, really important information that I need to know in detail. So I might just underline that with one of my colorful gel pens. I also highlight any definition or terms using another color. Another important thing that I like to do is any diagrams that are in the textbook, highlight a route of oxygenated blood in one color. Maybe I'll use blue and then maybe in another color, maybe red, I'll highlight the route of deoxygenated blood and the route that it goes and all the parts of the hearts that it goes into the flow. So this way I can memorize the flow of blood. The next step, I move on to taking notes. How I take notes is I copy down most of the information that I highlighted from the textbook, underlined, and I also copy down definitions or terms that I've highlighted. I also save room in my notes when I'm taking notes in the notebooks for any information that I obtain from the lecture during class. And then based on both what the information that I got from the lecture and the information that I obtained from the textbook, I kind of throw in some of my own notes, whether I phrased it or put it in a sense where I can understand it. I will throw that in there as well, maybe off to the sides, whatever, but I add that information in there as well. Another thing too, as you guys can see me going through my notes, you see there's a lot of big and bold areas. Once I'm going through the textbook, if I get to a different topic of that textbook, I use nice big bright colors, so this way it's easy to obtain the information quickly. I also draw pictures copy some of the diagrams, whether I print out the diagrams. If I go on like a Google search and I find a diagram of the heart, I might print that out, or I might sketch my own heart. The last thing that I like to do is I quiz myself. So at the end of taking my notes, either the professor will give you a practice exam, or you can find a practice exam online. And what I like to do is write down all the clicker questions, and then I add it into my note section as well. And then this is something that I can go over, whether I mix it up myself to make my own little quiz, or I just constantly read over the questions and the answers. Then I move on to making flashcards using index cards. So basically what I put on my index cards is I kind of just repeat the whole step. So anything that I wrote down in my notes that stand out most to me, or maybe I'm having more difficulty remembering it, I write it down on a index card and make a flashcard with it. And then I take most of my notes. Some of the clicker questions, again, that my professor has given me, I'll put those on an index cards to make flashcards. And what I like to do with my flashcards is anytime that I'm not sitting down studying intensely, I use it as a review. So throughout the week, I may go over multiple times a day, I may go over my flashcards. And I'm not doing it at first to memorize them. I'm kind of doing it at first just to familiarize myself with the material that I'm studying. Once I start going over the flashcards a few times, then I try to read the question on the card and try to think about what the answer possibly can be. And then I like to bring my flashcards with me throughout the day as well. Maybe I'm going for a ride in the car, I'll bring them to the couch with me. Maybe I'm watching a movie. In between the movie on commercials, I'll stop and I'll read my card until the movie comes back on. And then the last thing that I like to do with my flashcards is I bring them to bed with me. So this way I go over my flashcards a few times before I go to bed. So this way it's fresh on my mind. Because there are studies saying that if you read something or maybe you study right before bed, you take that information with you and your mind constantly goes over the information without you even knowing. So you grasp the information even better. So again, these are the few techniques that I like to use when I'm studying and preparing for an exam. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Please, I would love to know if any of my techniques worked out for any of you guys, or maybe there's a technique that you think would work out for me as well. If you would like to share it, drop a comment down below. I would love to hear any of you guys' feedback. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And join me next time for more techniques on how to be a successful student. Have a great day. Love you guys. Peace.